नमस्कार। प्रणाम।
नमस्कार।
तारा गांधी आदित्य टिक्कू, फाउंडर कन्वीनर, आपका आगमन करता हूँ इस इम्पोर्टेंट डे में, विच इज द 2 October and which is across India and around the world known as the Gandhi Jayanti, and every year to mark the birth anniversary of Mahatma Gandhi ji. It is observed as across states, territories in India, officially declared as a national holiday. And we are truly blessed and honored to have you as a granddaughter of Mahatma Gandhi ji, and taking time from your very busy schedule. I hope you are staying safe, staying healthy, COVID free.
Yes. आई एम रियली ऑनर्ड एंड मैं बहुत सम्मानित हूँ कि आपने मुझे इसमें आमंत्रित किया है आप लोगों के साथ बात करने के लिए। और ये तो बहुत ही समय ऐसा है कि गांधी जयंती है, गांधी और कस्तूरबा दोनों का 151वां जन्मदिन का वर्ष है। दूसरा, ये जो यूनाइटेड नेशंस ने 2 अक्टूबर को अहिंसा का दिवस बनाया है। 2 अक्टूबर इज ऑल्सो द डे ऑफ वर्ल्ड वाइड नॉन वायलेंस।
बिल्कुल बिल्कुल।
इस बीच में और हम आज के जो आज का जो यथार्थ है वो कि हम किस तरह से एक वैश्विक महामारी से गुजर रहे हैं। This global scare, terror of the coronavirus, this pandemic has really brought us all together in one thought, in introspection. So it is a very strange combination. Gandhi's the day of non-violence and this pandemic coronavirus, which has in a way kept us all away from each other, in a way brought us all together. It is a very special moment, I think, in the history of humanity. And with all of you, आप सबके साथ मेरी बहुत आंतरिक संवेदना है और सबके लिए जो इस महामारी से बहुत से लोग और परिवार जो पीड़ित हुए हैं इस महामारी से, और सबके साथ मेरी बहुत आंतरिक संवेदना है। और साथ में यह भी कहूँगी कि जिन्होंने बहादुरी से इतने लोगों ने दुनिया भर में अपनी जान की फिक्र किए बिना समाज के लिए, समाज के हित में सबकी सेवा की है और आगे बढ़े हैं और बढ़ रहे हैं, उनको भी मैं सलाम करती हूँ आप सबके साथ। उनको भी, उनके लिए मैं बहुत आभारी हूँ। मैं तो विश्व की बहुत ही वयोवृद्ध नागरिक हूँ, इसलिए इस उम्र में ये सब देखना एक दूसरी तरह से बहुत कठिन भी होता है कि हम क्या भविष्य लाएंगे अपने बच्चों के लिए, अपने युवाओं के लिए।
बिल्कुल मैम, इट इज जो शायद जानते ना हो, मैं कुछ एक थोड़ा ब्रीफ देना चाहूंगा तारा गांधी जी के बारे में। शी हैज बीन डेकोरेटेड विद वन ऑफ द फ्रांसिस टॉप ऑनर, द ऑर्डर ऑफ आर्ट्स and letters, for her contribution in promoting peace, solidarity, culture, education and development. We are honored, ma'am, honored. So मैम, हमारे बीच कुछ रिसर्चर्स हैं GCTC के, कुछ युवा वर्ग हैं और आपसे रूबरू होना चाहते हैं, आपसे क्वेश्चन आंसर करना चाहते हैं, बातचीत करना चाहते हैं। और हमारे बीच उपस्थित कुछ हमारे गणमान्य व्यक्ति भी हैं। डॉक्टर संदीप मारवा जी, आप शायद जानते भी होंगे, और वो हमारे,
मैं उनको जानती हूँ।
हाँ जी, वो हमारे बीच उपस्थित हैं और
बहुत अच्छी बात है।
हाँ जी, और वो आपको सुन रहे हैं और ये, और तो मैम मैं ज्यादा समय ना लेके, मैं हमारा पहला प्रश्न आया है परंजय शर्मा से। तो परंजय शर्मा जी, ओवर टू यू।
हेलो।
हाँ जी।
हेलो जी। हाँ,
Namaste, ma'am. It is really an honor and privilege to have you amongst us today.
No, I am very honored. Thank you.
So, my question to you is that how can we follow the Gandhian ideology for pressing and sensitive matters of today like sexual harassment, casteism, racism, etc.?
It is Gandhi's philosophy of non-violence is not just for one specific cause. The whole violence, it is the violence of the mind that makes the whole thing. It is the mind. The violence is first produced in the mind, the negativity of the mind. And how do we remove all this, the sexual harassment and all that? For this, there is only one answer, that we have to reach out to the children and the youth of the country, of the world, of the human society. How to be compassionate, fearless, and responsible citizens. That is the shortest way. There is no other way but through the education of children and the youth for tomorrow. Today's youth and children are being brought up on, nourished on hate, on revenge, on, in very sort of narrow-minded meaning of religion. And all this makes them a kind of, a different kind of human beings. So today's terrorists and violent people like those who sexually harass women, which is a horrible state, which is a reality today. All that because they have not had the right education. I'm not saying that with the right education everything will improve 100%, but the shortest way is only this, that we reach out to the children and the youth with the right education, but not just by speaking, by setting good examples. Because what a terrorist knows, he has gone through a brutal childhood. So he becomes a terrorist. His own experience. Let us not forget that they have all gone through brutal childhood. And the shortest way, as far as I can see, is that we go reach out to the children and the youth in the right way, for compassion and for responsibility. This would be the way. It was Gandhi's way of thinking. He reached out to children, to the youth, to the society. And if Gandhi was here, I would say the same thing to him. That don't you think that that the children and the youth should be given the right education? Once I had put this question to the Dalai Lama, His Holiness. He said in his very, very charming and very convincing way, he said, yes, of course, we must be compassionate to children, boy child and girl child both. But they should also be given a sense of responsibility as citizens. Here I must insist on one thing. Like in India, I don't know about all other countries. I'm sure the same is true of Bangladesh, Pakistan, and I don't know. I don't want to name all countries like that. I don't know. But the situation in India is such that the boy child does not get the right education. I don't mean harshness in education. I mean compassion. A girl child we say it has to be educated. Education and literacy are two different things. One can have degrees, but not be educated. And we are making a difference between girl child and a boy child in a very cruel way also, towards boys. When you say boys also have a right, they also should be, the boy child has a right to be educated, to have the right examples. And here, either we pamper him or we are very cruel to him. We have to earn, because, of course, in our faith we say, who will do the Antishti for me? Who will look after me? Who will give me the name? So the boy child can do anything. So, and also is given the idea is to make money, to earn well, study well so that you earn well and you look after us. And we pamper a boy child like that, or we are harsh to him. In schools, I have seen in villages, when a girl doesn't do well in the school, she comes back and does sewing or helps in cooking. But if a boy doesn't do well in the school and comes back, the parents are very harsh on him. The teachers are very harsh on him. He runs away, either becomes a victim of terror or becomes a terrorist himself. So I would like to say that just as a girl child needs protection and all the right education, liberty, so does the boy child. I insist on the boy education, the right education of the boy child for this. And Gandhi in his life, he said he did the same thing. You know, in his own, just look at his own life. If his father was not kind to him, if his teachers did not understand him, if all those who came running to him in South Africa or in London, later on in India, how would he have progressed? So first he was given the right education, the compassion, the understanding by his father, by his mother. And he gave the same to his children and to the society. And I think this is what is Gandhi's non-violence, is the violence of the mind which creates the pollution of the environment. And a sense of fear. There's a whole fear. And it is very painful today to see every day the news of sexual harassment, gang rape. All this is very depressing and very cruel. I think there should, of course, be a constant, regular treatment for this in schools and colleges. We have to fight with them today in present as it is and create the future citizens also. So we have double responsibility. We have to do the work of today, how to stop it today, and then how to protect it from future, which is not far away. In 20 years, 15 years, 10 years, you have adults who are becoming responsible citizens. So this is how I would see the non-violence of Gandhi.
Thank you.
I appreciate your taking the time to answer my question, ma'am. Thank you so much.
Thank you. Thank you very much.
मैडम आपको एक चीज और अपडेट करें, आज हम अपना पॉडकास्ट का भी लॉन्च कर रहे हैं एंड वी आर ऑनर्ड टू launch it on the 2nd of October, the very important date in the history of India. And
yes,
and that too from you. It comes from you. It is a great honor, ma'am. Now we have a question from Aditi Agarwal. Aditi ji,
yes.
apna question please.
Good evening, ma'am. I would just like to ask you one question. My question to you is, how can we bring in the Gandhian ideology in today's divisive and dirty politics scenario of India? Yes.
Gandhi did his non-violent struggle. He called his life Experiments with Truth. He is a model of what a citizen can do. And everyone who worked with him and fought for this non-violent struggle, they were all citizens. Why are we talking of the government, of governments and political parties in a democracy? Why don't we look at the citizens? It is the power of the citizens. If we do not understand our responsibility, how can we improve the government or the politics? I mean, the politics will remain like this. But we as citizens, if we don't our duty, I mean, just I ask myself, am I doing my duty always, a duty? No. And so many times we take a situation for granted, we don't do anything, we expect the government to do it. Of course, governments have to be made. There have to be political parties. There'll naturally be political parties. But in a country like India, if the people do something together, then it succeeds. Politicians don't succeed unless the people succeed. And politicians also have to think like citizens first. They are thinking of their power, of course, but how much can we improve them? If I have not worked in politics, how do I know what problems they have or what compulsions they have to behave like this? But we are as citizens free. Politicians are not free. So why don't we do? Let's talk about the cleanliness drive, Swachhata Abhiyan. Why should I not see around me what is wrong and even pick up things from the street? If every citizen thought that he should stand up against injustice in the society, and if we did our duty like that, then the country succeeds. And this, if you want to ask me, what would Gandhi say? Gandhi himself showed it. He was not in the political circle. He, of course, made the politicians. He brought us the political liberation. But he fought as a citizen, as a नागरिक. ये नागरिक की क्रांति होनी चाहिए. ये सरकार की तरफ से या राजनीति से नहीं होगी. जब तक हम देश के नागरिक एकजुट होकर या अपने छोटी सी दुनिया में सही काम करें, तब ये देश एक मिसाल होगा दुनिया के लिए, जो गांधी ने करके दिखाया. उनके साथ जिन्होंने काम किया, उन्होंने सब ने नागरिक की हैसियत से किया, अपनी पढ़ाई छोड़ी, अपना काम छोड़ा. I'm not saying that everyone should leave their job and do something. No, in my daily life, if I am honest to myself, then this country can do a lot. We would not need to worry about the politicians then. We should set an example before the politicians. That is what Gandhi did. And he not only brought independence to India, and it was followed by independence to liberation to so many countries. But when we do not do what the citizens do, then what happens is what is happening. Because it was only the political liberation, political freedom we got. We were liberated because we got the political freedom as far as politics was concerned. But the British also were liberated. They got rid of their own injustice. In South Africa, those who were practicing apartheid got rid of their injustice. Now in India, we are faced with the internal struggle, and which is more difficult to fight. The outside enemy has been thrown out politically, but what about the inner struggle? Then we talk about the development. Of course, technology has taken us to great heights. Every day it is a marvel. But technology is not the speed of the way technology is going. Also, our mindset. हमारे विचार क्या हैं? अभी मैं आपको एक छोटा सा एक उदाहरण देती हूँ कि जहाँ जब उत्तराखंड में 3 साल पहले या 4 साल पहले तो भयंकर तूफान हुए थे, जो अभी भी शायद ऐसे हो रहा होगा, और इतने लोग गए और कुछ लोग फंस गए बर्फ में. तो टेक्नोलॉजी brought us together, brought the helicopters, the planes, and everyone, and the information, and tried to help. But the some of us, I was shocked to hear at an airport when the bodies were being brought. There were a group of people. I do not want to name the city, nor the airport, nor the people. There were all political parties there to receive their people who had suffered in the thing. Or anyway, political parties and non-political parties. There was a huge crowd at the airport. But I met some people, a group of young men who were talking. Maybe I'm not saying men and women, not to make a difference like that, who were saying, यार चलो अभी है वक्त बस्ती जाने का या केदार जाने का, क्योंकि कुछ लोग फंस गए, उनकी चीजें ले आएंगे, हम भी सोना ले आएंगे, उनकी घड़ियां उतार लाएंगे, उनके जेवर उतार लाएंगे. So this is not development. On one side you see the development, the helicopters reach there in no time, information is brought to my living room, to my bedroom, or in my hand even if I am on the road. But if the mindset is like that I should go there, take a jet, take a plane, go there and steal things, then then how do we call this a development? जो पूर्ण विकास है वो हमारे आंतरिक विकास होना चाहिए. Gandhi was always on a spiritual journey, inner journey about which he never talked. He was a man of action. He was also a great psychologist. He understood the mind of people. He understood the foreign culture. Just imagine, he was so young when he first went to London, and someone gave him a book of called The Light of Asia on Buddha, written by I think Edwin Arnold, if I remember, and one on Gita. I mean, someone thought that man, this young man, is capable of understanding it. It was all on Buddhist philosophy and on Gita. Together, he read them, and he read all great philosophies and took the best out of the philosophies. And what did he do? He used the best in the dailiness of his life. ये नहीं है कि हमें कोई स्टेज मिलेगा, हम कहीं पद मिलेगा, हम कोई कुछ कहीं हम अलंकृत होंगे, हमें कोई अवार्ड मिलेगा. लेकिन उन्होंने वही सब किया, सब जगह से सच्चा लिया और उसकी दैनिकता में उसको अपनाया. तो यही तो उनकी बात है. और उन्होंने जब ये सब पढ़ा और हर जगह उन्होंने एक सत्य से संघर्ष किया, चाहे अपने पहनावे में हो, चाहे अपने विचार में हो, चाहे दूसरे मेहमान के साथ हो, चाहे विरोधी दल के साथ हो, और मैं ये भी कहूँगी चाहे उनकी पत्नी के साथ हो. तो यहाँ मैं जरूर कहूँगी, I would like to say that when we talk of Gandhi, let us not forget it is also the 150th conclusion of the 150th anniversary of Kasturba also. They were both 13 when they got married. How much did she know that she was married to this man who would become absolutely the icon of the human society, which is struggles for truth? What did she know? It was the time to play with dolls. And that time she got married to this man who was to become our greatest, greatest leader of the world. So it is Kasturba, Bapuji's, I refer to Gandhi as Bapuji. And Bapuji's, this thing was the biggest challenge from Kasturba. Because she was not a timid girl. She was the strong girl of the rural Gujarat, of Kathiawad, of Saurashtra. She argued with him on everything. Why? Why so? Why so? She argued with him. And when she was convinced, she followed him. She not only followed him, she understood Gandhi's philosophy better than even he could understand. And she went ahead of him. So she was his lifelong companion till she died. And that is where Gandhi realized the strongest force in creation is the mother power. It is there in man, woman, and child, and in every life. And if we can give a bit of that mother power in us to the next human being, there would be very little chance of any terror and war in this world. And when I pay homage to the memory of my grandmother and grandfather, I pay homage actually to my grandfather's mother and my grandmother's mother, because one's birthday is always a homage to the parents. Yes. So Bhai and Bapuji's birthday is also homage to their parents. And they were people like us who were fond of good food, good clothes. And I am insisting on one thing. Let us not forget Kasturba's role in the whole story of Gandhi.
Correct, ma'am. As you said, I mean, to every successful person, there is a woman behind. So, bilkul aap theek keh rahe hain.
No, here, sorry, I would also like to say that behind every successful man, there is a successful story. But I would like to repeat, that behind every strong, every successful woman, there is also a good man. Let's not forget that.
Madam, we have a question from Dr. Sandeep Marwa ji. Please.
Yes.
I don't have a question. I'm here. Good evening, ma'am. Good evening, everyone. What a pleasure to listen to you, ma'am. Respected Tara Gandhi ji.
Nice to hear you, Sandeep bhai. आपको सुन के बहुत अच्छा लग रहा है.
What a pleasure, I tell you, to listen to you. Let me tell you, Aditya, we have a Mahatma Gandhi forum at Marwa Studios, and respected Tara Gandhi ji is the chief editor of our forum. She's been a real guiding source of a guiding force, I tell you. I'm just recollecting two lines on this very auspicious occasion. कि भारत की आंखों के तारे, हाय महात्मा गांधी हमारे, उनकी मौत का सबको गम है, जितना भी हम रोएं कम है, नाम था जैसा काम था वैसा, कोई ना होगा नेता वैसा, सारे कौमों की यह भाई, हिंदू मुस्लिम सिख ईसाई, उलझन में हैं भारत वाले, सबके होठों पर है नाले, उनके गम में सब रोते हैं, ऐसे लीडर कम होते हैं, कहते हैं जी गम के मारे, हाय महात्मा गांधी हमारे, हाय बापू हमारे. I just recollected, probably I must have learned this 30 years back.
बहुत अच्छा. आपसे तो बात करते हुए हमेशा बहुत अच्छा लगता है.
नहीं मैम, you are so great with so much of knowledge, and your presentation and your expression is so good. I tell you, when you narrate, we feel that we are actually back into the history. It's so, your words are so authentic and so appropriate when you explain things. With all these words, probably I will ask Aditya to please continue, and I think people have more questions. Carry on, please. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Sandeep.
Thank you, Sandeep ji. Madam, just to आपके साथ मैं एक चीज और बोलना चाहूंगा. आज एक बहुत ही इम्पोर्टेंट पर्सन, वन मोर इम्पोर्टेंट पर्सन जो जिनका जन्मदिन है, बेसिकली बर्थ एनिवर्सरी है, वो हमारे पूर्व प्रधानमंत्री लाल बहादुर शास्त्री जी, जो कि जय जवान जय किसान का भी नारा लगाते थे. आपका उस विषय में क्या कहना है? बिल्कुल, हम कुछ आपसे सुनना चाहेंगे.
लगता है कि अगर शास्त्री जी होते तो मेरे ख्याल में सर्वोदय क्रांति जिसके बापूजी को कल्पना थी, शायद वो बहुत आगे ले जाते. वो जो सर्वोदय की क्रांति थी, अहिंसक क्रांति, बापूजी गए तो हमें राजनीति तो पॉलिटिकल फ्रीडम तो मिल गई, लेकिन हमारी जो अंदर के लिए जो हमें क्रांति चाहिए थी, वो लाल बहादुर शास्त्री द्वारा अवश्य होती और आप बहुत आगे बढ़ती. ऐसा नहीं है कि औरों ने नहीं किया, लेकिन लाल बहादुर शास्त्री का हर एक का अपना एक अनोखापन होता है, एक विशिष्टता होती है. तो उनका जाने का तो इतिहास में वह तो एक हमेशा से बहुत ही एक ऐसा प्रसंग हुआ, ऐसी एक चीज हुई जिसकी किसी को कल्पना नहीं थी, और उसकी शायद हम कीमत आज भी चुका रहे हैं एक तरह से. और वो सर्वोदय क्रांति करने के लिए वही होता है, जैसे कि अभी मारवा जी कह रहे थे कि सबके लिए उन्होंने कहा. मैं इसमें थोड़ा एक और कहूंगी कि हमारा जो सर्वोदय में जो होता है कि एक रीअवेकनिंग ऑफ द ह्यूमन स्पिरिट इन हार्मनी विद नेचर एंड ऑल लाइफ. ये जो ऑल लाइफ है, उसमें वनस्पति है, उसमें पशु है, उसमें हर जीव है. तो हम पशुओं के साथ कैसे रहते हैं, हम नेचर के, प्रकृति के साथ कैसे रहते हैं, ये जरा सोचें. अभी कुछ साल पहले मुझे मौका मिला था हिज होलीनेस पोप को सुनने का वेटिकन सिटी में, जब पोप ने 5 भाषाओं में लगातार निरंतर कहा, कहते रहे घंटों कि रिमेम्बर दैट द क्रिएटर ऑलवेज फॉरगिव्स अस, but what is created never forgives. Created never forgives. The Creator forgives. Please be kind to every life. He kept on saying, please be kind to nature, to every life. And I think these words, the words from His Holiness, are always sort of like an echo in my thoughts. especially in today's world. I think the thought, ये सर्वोदय का जो विचार है, the philosophy of सर्वोदय should be taught in every school and college, not in a narrow way, but in a very broad way, where the whole country becomes a place of sanctity. Here, I would say, now let's talk about the Ram Mandir. Ram Mandir is now that we have accepted it, I really welcome it. Let it be really a beautiful temple. कोई बहुत ही भव्य मंदिर होना चाहिए, लेकिन वो ऐसा मंदिर होना चाहिए, भव्यता में तो कोई कमी नहीं होनी चाहिए, लेकिन वो ऐसी भव्यता हो, दिव्यता हो कि वो पूरे देश को पवित्र बना दे। पूरे देश को नहीं, पूरी भूमि को, जहाँ सब जगह सब धर्मों को, सब दर्शनों को, सब दार्शनिकता को, सब जगह एक दूसरे के लिए आदर के साथ रखे। जैसे I don't like the word tolerance. It's not a good word. It's not a sufficient word. Tolerating, why should we tolerate a religion? We should have respect for others' faith. And we should live with that respect. So let the whole world become a place where we respect each other's faith. And if Ram Mandir can lead us to that shall I say, that destination,
Correct.
to that level, to that high level, then I would really say that Ram Mandir is bhavya. भव्यता में सब कुछ होना चाहिए, सुंदर उसमें काम हो, इतने लोगों को रोजी मिलेगी, और राम मंदिर को सही, अयोध्या को सुंदर बने, और अयोध्या जैसा ही पवित्र हो, तो सारे दुनिया की भूमि में पवित्रता आए, जहाँ सब लोग मिलकर रह सके। वो सभी सारी दुनिया की जो भूमि है, हर भूमि मंदिर है, मस्जिद है, क्योंकि all the temples and the mosques and the gurudwaras and all faiths of sanctity, but the greatest place of sanctity is the earth itself. So let the Ram Mandir, I'm praying that the Ram Mandir will lead us where the entire planet is there, that we care as human beings. We treat the whole earth as a place of sanctity. And as human beings, let us realize that we are very limited. We only know what our minds allow. Even great thinkers like Einstein and Gandhi worked within the limitations of the human mind. What do we know what the animals think or the plants think? So let us realize that whatever we may do is in the limitation of the human mind. So let us be in this knowledge, be compassionate to each other and to every life.
Correct.
And I think that would be the meaning of Sarvodaya. That is what I take the meaning of Sarvodaya. Here I would like to say about Bapuji that there was something in him that whatever he touched, it looked as though he was touching something holy. Even if he took a pencil or he took the wooden spoon to have his food, if the food was nuts or some dalia, when he took it from the wooden spoon, or when he took a pen to write, or when he took the guitar in his hand, or when he touched a person, it was with the same sanctity, as though he was touching even the inanimate objects, as though he was touching the soul in it.
Correct.
And Ba and Bapuji both had this sattvic shakti in them.
मैडम, मैं सही में बोलूं तो ये बिल्कुल ऐसा लग रहा है कि अभी महात्मा गांधी जी और कस्तूरबा जी अभी हमारे बीच हैं। हमें ऐसा लग रहा है हम अभी उनकी जो वाइब्रेशंस हैं, ऐसा लग रहा है वो घूम रही हैं जीसीटीसी के हर एक मेंबर के। तो हमारे बीच सारों को मैं दोबारा बताना चाहूंगा, हमारे बीच अभी हैं तारा गांधी जी, जो कि ग्रैंड डॉटर हैं महात्मा गांधी जी और कस्तूरबा जी की। So we are once again, we are feeling honored We have now next question from Sidra Khalid Khan from Lucknow. Sidra ji, over to you.
Good evening, ma'am. Actually, I have a question. In this COVID scenario, there were a lot of international issues. So, how do you think Gandhi principle of peace and non-violence are considered in solving these international issues?
Is it the Gandhi? The Gandhi's. What did you say?
Ma'am, basically ये पूछना चाह रही हैं कि how far do you think the Gandhian ideals of the peace and the non-violence are taken into consideration while solving the international disputes with the neighboring countries?
I see that solving. Well, I would like to say that people are. I mean, I don't know how can it solve. If it is done in the Gandhian way, it gets solved. But it is if things are getting solved in the Gandhian way, well, that is politics. What people are doing in outside countries, there's a lot of violence and a lot of politics. As I said, the people's power is what I think of. Because wherever I go, I see so much love and affection and friendship. But it is always the politics which is different. I think as citizens of the world, we should concentrate on what we do and what we think. I think politics can be wrong, and so many times wrong decisions are taken. But I must say one thing, that there is a search for Gandhi today in all over the world, whether it is the President of America or the President of Arab countries, presidents of Arab countries, or the rich people, or the poor people, or professors, or artists, or in any area of life you see, that there is a great search for Gandhi. What was Gandhi like? How was Gandhi? How did he achieve what he achieved? For this, I can only say one answer, that while we should be conscious that there is a search, we think that we are following Gandhi, or we are finding Gandhi. But the only way to find Gandhi is by listening to one's own conscience. Then Gandhi is there. Otherwise, Gandhi is very elusive. And the search is going on much more. It started outside India much before it started in India. I remember, let's say, 30, 40 years ago, in the embassies, some embassies of the world, which I know, there were no mention. I mean, 2nd October was not celebrated at all in big way. But now, everyone in the Indian embassies and in the high commissions, everybody talks of Gandhi, is well informed. I have lived in foreign countries and I've seen that, I thought it was something, I took it for natural that, no one talked of Gandhi, but the local people were talking of Gandhi. And our embassies were not talking of it. And I'm not talking of recent 20 years or 10 years. It's not a political answer. I'm saying in the last 40 years, suddenly, there now that people all over the world, India, are getting conscious of Gandhi. And embassies are celebrating Gandhi. From the last 30 years onwards, Gandhi is being celebrated everywhere, even by the Indian high commissions and Indian embassies. And it is a search. What is Gandhi? Where is Gandhi? And lectures on Gandhi and discussions. But doesn't lead us anywhere unless we listen to our conscience. I can be talking to you, but unless I listen to my conscience, I cannot go ahead. I'm not saying I'm successful. And please, I would like to say here that I'm so grateful that you refer to me as granddaughter of Mahatma Gandhi. But the reality is this, that I'm not a granddaughter of Mahatma Gandhi. I am a biological granddaughter of Mohandas Karamchand Gandhi. With all my limitations as a human being. Correct. But this is what I know, learned of Gandhi, and what my own thoughts are about non-violence are based on my simple experience with Gandhi and Kasturba and that extraordinary era. I was nearly 14 when Gandhi died, and I'd seen Kasturba several times in the Aga Khan Palace where she died. And I was a witness as a young adolescent to the changing India. I was witness to the change in Delhi, the political scene, the social scene, and the geographical scene of the partition. So I really think that somewhere we lost the concept of Sarvodaya, and we lost the concept of the citizens' role in it. We have depended too much on politicians, even worldwide dependence. So wherever, now we are waking up, where is Gandhi? How is Gandhi? Let us remember it was a citizen's fight. It was not a politician's, it was not a fight of the power, but it was a common man's fight who called his life My Experiments with Truth. And in his every area of life, he experimented with truth, whether it was his dress, whether food, or how he talked. In everything, there was an experiment. He was very particular about writing. I think today, if he had been alive, I don't think he would have been against the computer at all. But he would have still insisted that we write also, that we read books, that we don't depend on the machines. As Gandhi said, the machines are there. Even Charkha is a machine. But let it not rule us. Let us be the masters. Let us not be slaves to the machine, to the technology. But let us use it to our advantage.
Exactly, as you rightly said that we should not be addicted to that. You meant to say that?
The technology should be at the service. We should not be at the service of technology. And technology is something that should be used for non-violence. And that the conscience only can say. Here, I don't want to sound too big, and it is, because I am a very ordinary person. I am learned only through mistakes, and yet I go on making mistakes. So I'm not here to teach. I'm only sharing my views as an 87, I'm going on in my 87th year as a senior citizen of the human society of the world.
Correct. Well, ma'am, we have now Ashish from Himachal. He has a question. Ashish, yes. Over to you.
Thank you so much, sir. Namaste, ma'am. It's an honor to meet you and virtually meet you, actually. So, ma'am, my question is, how relevant are Gandhiji principles in the 21st century for the national unity and national identity?
National unity. National unity.
Yeah.
You know how? Yeah. But Gandhi is always relevant. Gandhi is always relevant. This question is, it really makes me, I don't know how to say it. How can truth be irrelevant? It is always there. And Gandhi will always be relevant more and more as we go ahead. It is not just that Gandhi was something of the past. It is not something that we read and put on the shelf. Gandhi will always be relevant and it will be a challenge for us to listen to our conscience. Gandhi will always be a challenge, will always be relevant. If something is relevant today, it is Gandhi. And if we forget Gandhi, which is synonymous with truth, compassion, forgiveness, all this, then we are at a risk. We really fail as human beings. So Gandhi will always be relevant. There is no other. There can't be two views on this.
Thank you.
We are not probably following Gandhi. If Gandhi is not relevant today, that means that somewhere we are wrong in our own truth. Not that we are not learning from Gandhi. Am I right in my own truth? Is the question. It is not Gandhian ideology. It is my way of life that's going to make the society. And I think I read somewhere that if even one person changes, one person listens to his inner voice, then it's a whole. The vibrations are so strong that it affects the entire environment. And here I would like to say that it is, again, probably I'm repeating, it is the violence of the mind that pollutes the environment. Ganges is not polluted. We have polluted the Ganges. We have polluted. So human mind has polluted the Ganges. And we say the Mother Ganga is polluted. माँ गंगा प्रदूषित है. ये कैसी गलत बात है. सच्चाई तो यह है कि हमारे प्रदूषित मानस ने गंगा को प्रदूषित कर दिया. अभी मैं आपको एक छोटी सी बात बताती हूँ, किस्सा सुनाती हूँ गांधी का. गांधी ने आखिर में एक किसान का परिधान चुना. He was on a spiritual journey. उनकी जिंदगी कर्म भूमि थी जिसके काम करते रहे हमेशा, लेकिन उन्होंने अपनाया श्रमिक किसान का. उन्होंने जीवन के कौन सा क्षेत्र उन्होंने छोड़ा, सब क्षेत्र में उनके विचार थे, उनका काम था, और उन्होंने सब में सच्चाई अपनाई. जब खादी पकड़ा तो फिर खादी का लिया, खेती में लिया, बुनियादी शिक्षा में लिया, फिर प्राकृतिक चिकित्सा में लिया. उन्होंने जो आखिर में जो परिधान का आखिरी दशकों में जो उन्होंने परिधान लिया वो था श्रमिक किसान का. क्योंकि उन्हें उनकी जो आध्यात्मिक जो यात्रा थी आंतरिक, उसमें वो कुछ पहन के हिमालय चले जाते. उन्होंने वो नहीं किया. उन्होंने अपनी आध्यात्मिक यात्रा में किसान के साथ अपने को जोड़ा. उसका एक और अर्थ था. उस समय हिंदुस्तान में एक आदमी की इतनी औकात नहीं थी कि वो बहुत से कपड़े रख सके. वो कम ही कपड़े रख सकता था. इसलिए गांधी ने सोचा कि मैं कम कपड़े रखूं, 3 जोड़े रखूं, वो भी कपड़ा रखूं वैसा. तो गांधी ने इकोनॉमी भी देखी, उसमें जिसमें सबसे कम खर्च हो. सिला किया कपड़ा नहीं पहना, किसानों का पहना. लेकिन आप जरा सोचिए जो उन्होंने शास्त्रीय कपड़ा भी पहन लिया, जहाँ उनका आध्यात्मिक झलक होती है. क्योंकि कहते हैं कि बिना सिला बिना कटा कपड़ा पहनना चाहिए. तो उन्होंने वैसा परिधान चुना. और दिल्ली की ठंडी में मैं देखती थी, अभी सोचती हूँ बापू जी कैसे रहते थे, छाती खुली, कभी चादर से ढक लेते थे, पैर में मोजे नहीं. अब मैं 4 मोजे पहनती हूँ, और बिना हीटर के, बिना उसके बापूजी कैसे रहते थे, बिना एयर कंडीशनिंग के. और बापूजी भी हमारे जैसे थे. उन्होंने अपने स्वाद पर कंट्रोल किया, खाने पर, आहार पर. आप सोच सकते हैं गुजराती काठियावाड़ी अपने इतना अनुशासन रखे अपने खाने पर. कितना कम कर दिया उन्होंने साधु का उसका, और कितना उनका पतला एकदम उनका एक खरा बदन था, और वो कैसे ठंडी बर्दाश्त करते थे. तो एक आध्यात्मिक शक्ति थी. उस शक्ति को उन्होंने, इसीलिए तो हम कहते हैं कि गांधी की जो शक्ति थी वो आध्यात्मिक शक्ति थी. अभी न समझ बोले हम. उन्होंने जो एक परिधान श्रमिक किसान का चुना, उसमें बहुत तथ्य है. ये किस्सा मैं आपको भूलना नहीं चाहती थी, आपको सुनाना चाह रही थी.
बिल्कुल. We are thankful, ma'am. Thank you so much, ma'am. हमारे बीच उपलक्ष्य हैं हिमांशु दुबे जी, जो उत्तर प्रदेश के छोटे से जिले से हैं, गाजियाबाद. तो हिमांशु दुबे जी, over to you, please.
Oh, hello, ma'am. Good evening. It's nice pleasure to hear from you on the occasion of Gandhi's anniversary. मैम, एक क्वेश्चन था आपके लिए. जैसा कि हम सब जानते हैं कि यूनाइटेड नेशंस ऑर्गेनाइजेशन गांधी की ही प्रिंसिपल के ऊपर बनाई गई थी in order to maintain international peace and security.
समझ नहीं आया यूनाइटेड नेशंस का क्या कहना, समझ नहीं आया.
हिमांशु जी आराम से थोड़ा सा.
अच्छा मैम, यूनाइटेड नेशंस का पर्पस ही इंटरनेशनल पीस मेंटेन करना था गांधी फिलॉसफी के बेसिस पे. और जिस दिन पूरे वर्ल्ड ने गांधी को खोया, उस दिन सभी बड़ी कंट्रीज ने उन्हें ट्रिब्यूट पे किया था. और उसी बेसिस पे आज यूनाइटेड नेशंस ने अपने अंडर कई ऑर्गेनाइजेशन, साथ में यूनाइटेड नेशंस पीस कीपिंग फोर्सेस भी स्टैब्लिश की हुई हैं, ताकि वो गांधी की फिलॉसफी को, नॉन वायलेंस को उन जगहों पे प्रमोट कर सके, ना ही सिर्फ इंडिया बल्कि पूरी दुनिया पे जहाँ पे वायलेंस हो रहा है. सो आपको क्या लगता है कि आज यूनाइटेड नेशंस में गांधी की नॉन वायलेंस की पॉलिसी को उस तरह से नहीं फॉलो किया जा रहा है जैसे पहले किया जाता था?
जहां तक मैं समझूं आपके सवाल का, कि जहाँ पे यूनाइटेड नेशंस ने नॉन वायलेंस डे तो कह दिया, घोषित कर दिया, लेकिन उसका पालन नहीं हो रहा है, ये कह रहे हैं आप?
हाँ जी मैम।
तो उसका पालन नहीं हो रहा है। देखिए, अगर आपका सवाल है जी
मैडम, बेसिकली ये कहना चाह रहे हैं कि जिस वक्त महात्मा गांधी जी we lost him, from that very day यूनाइटेड नेशंस भी उन्हीं प्रिंसिपल से जुड़ा हुआ है, और उन्होंने फिर एक यूनाइटेड नेशन पीस कीपिंग फोर्स शुरू करी थी। तो जो जिन सिद्धांतों, जिन प्रिंसिपल्स से वो चीजें शुरुआत करी थी, क्या वो चीज आपको क्या लगता है कि वो अभी भी उसी प्रिंसिपल्स पे चल रहे हैं या नहीं चल रहे हैं? आपको क्या लगता है? व्हाट इज योर ओपिनियन ऑन दैट?
ऐसा है कि गांधी का नाम बहुत ज्यादा लिया जा रहा है समझे बिना सब जगह। आजकल लोग गांधी जैसे सब कुछ एक तरह से सिंथेटिक हो गया है। ये भी सही बात है। और जहाँ समझे आप, मैंने कई जगह खादी सभाओं में तो नहीं, खादी डिजाइनर्स की खादी देखी है। खादी के नाम से सिंथेटिक कपड़े भी बेचे जा रहे हैं, दिखाए जा रहे हैं। मतलब उन्होंने गलती नहीं करती, उनके अंदर समझ नहीं है। खादी क्या है समझे बिना खादी की बात हो रही है, और वो कोई बुरे अंदाज से नहीं कह रहे, खादी के भक्त होकर कह रहे हैं, लेकिन उस शब्द में खादी है।
Good evening and warm welcome. We are now in the second session of with Tara Gandhi ji. We are once again delighted to have ma'am to this very important occasion of the October 2nd, the birth anniversary of the father of nation, Mohandas Karamchand Gandhi. And yes, I would also say that it is the anniversary of Kasturba ji also, as Madam in the first session told us, updated us. It is also the birth anniversary of our former Prime Minister, Shri Lal Bahadur Shastri ji. So once again, ma'am, we welcome you to this August session. Thank you for your kind advice. So, ma'am, yes. So we have, ma'am, representatives who have questions for you.
Yes. Well, so before I say anything, the second session, I also it's my deep appreciation and for and my admiration for Lal Bahadur Shastri and my homage to him also.
Definitely, ma'am. Definitely, as you rightly said that Lal Bahadur Shastri ji and was actually going on the track which actually Mahatma Gandhi ji was also inspiring for. That.
Yes, and also Nehru was going on that track. I mean, he also went away, and Lal Bahadur Shastri came. I mean, Nehru had a very short time. He also had vision. So Lal Bahadur Shastri was absolutely the right person to follow him.
Correct. Right, ma'am. So, ma'am, we have Raghavi. Raghavi, over to you, please.
Thank you, sir. First of all, good evening, ma'am, and I'm really delighted for this opportunity. So, ma'am, my question to you is, how can we, by following Gandhi's ideologies and beliefs, form an Atmanirbhar Bharat? What does it lead to? How does one reach there?
Well, Atmanirbhar Bharat, as Gandhi said, I mean, these are not exactly his words, but more or less his words is that for your material needs, your house should be your village should be your world for all your material needs. The village is your world. That for all your spiritual needs, the world is your village. That means that you start from your house, from your society, from your neighborhood. and work for your country and produce in the country as far as possible. But spiritual ideas and good ideas can be taken from the entire world. And that also helps on Atmanirbharta. Atmanirbharta is Swadeshi, which is for belonging to your own country. And that was important where he showed in agriculture, in cloth industry especially, what he showed about khadi. That everyone should, the spinning is very good, is needed to be revived. It has gone out of the charkhas, have got lost or have been broken. They are not using it. And our cloth, our handmade cloth was being taken out of our country and was in another country. So we realized that the best way is for self-dependence, is to stop getting, cloth from outside and stopping also our cloth from going out and reviving the hand industry, the hand spun and handmade cloth. Now that was his aim, and he called the hand spinning wheel the atom bomb of non-violence. And so were also the need for handmade, the village craft, the handicrafts, and they were, a lot of importance should be given in a country like India or everywhere. I mean, as far as possible, in every sense, it should be Atmanirbhar. That is. But for spiritual ideas, the whole world is yours. And Gandhi took ideas from great people from all over the world.
Thank you.
Correct, ma'am. Correct. Ma'am, any one thing that yes, we think that you might be having plenty of things to remember, but any one thing which makes you remember कि नहीं मैं देखिए सिद्धांत तो बहुत होते हैं, बट एग्जैक्टली अगर आपको कुछ याद हो या कुछ हमारे साथ को जिक्र कर सकें कोई एक वाक्य.
देखिए गांधी जी तो इतनी बातें मुझे इतनी स्मरण है, इतनी स्मृतियां हैं जिनकी सांकेतिकता मैं आज समझ रही हूँ. और मैंने तो बहुत कम पढ़ा है और मैं स्कॉलर भी नहीं हूँ और एकेडमिक तो बिल्कुल नहीं हूँ. लेकिन मैंने जो मेरे अनुभव है, इतने वर्षों के अनुभव में, अपनी स्मृतियों में मैंने बहुत सांकेतिकता देखी है. एक मैं आपको किस्सा सुनाती हूँ गांधी का. जो गांधी बहुत ही उनका सिखाने का तरीका बहुत मौलिक था, बहुत सुंदर था और हमने उनसे बहुत कुछ सीखा. उनके साथ बहुत विनोद में रहे, हास्य में रहे और सीखा भी बहुत. एक बार सर स्टैफर्ड क्रिप्स आए थे स्वाधीनता से पहले, जब भारत स्वाधीन नहीं हुआ था और स्वाधीनता की बात चल रही थी और बापूजी ठहरे हुए थे एक जगह, एक आश्रम में, और भीड़ में थी और प्रार्थना के लिए हम जा रहे थे. मैं बापूजी के साथ जा रही थी. उस भीड़ को चीरते हुए सर स्टैफर्ड क्रिप्स आए और बापूजी एकदम रुके और बापूजी ने उनसे हाथ मिलाया और फिर मुझे मेरा परिचय दिया. दिस इज माय ग्रैंडडॉटर, डॉटर ऑफ माय यंगेस्ट सन. और मैंने किसी अंग्रेज शब्द से पहले कभी हाथ नहीं मिलाया. I was so excited about shaking hands with an Englishman, and I extended my hand, and he said, "How do you do?" I was so thrilled. I thought I should now show how much English I know. Until then, I had not spoken English. So when he said, "How do you do?" I said, "Oh, I had fever yesterday, and my mother gave me an aspirin. I didn't go to school. My mother will call a doctor." And I was withdrawn like that. बापू जी इतना ले नहीं पाए. उन्होंने देखा प्रार्थना का समय हो रहा था और इतने इम्पोर्टेंट शख्स आए हैं इंग्लैंड से सिर्फ उनसे मिलने के लिए और बहुत जरूरी बातचीत की. बापू जी मुझे कोने में ले गए, सब कुछ छोड़ के. तारा, जब अंग्रेजी में पूछते हैं हाउ डू यू डू, तो जवाब में सिर्फ हाउ डू यू डू कहो. अपने स्वास्थ्य के बारे में मत बताओ. तो मुझे इतना गुस्सा आया, इतनी हंसी भी आई और बहुत दुख हुआ, गुस्सा आया. और मैं रोने लगी. बाद में अपनी माँ के पास जाके कि भाई कैसी भाषा है कि मुझे जो कोई आपसे पूछे हाउ आर यू और हम बोल भी ना सके हम कैसे हैं, तो पूछते क्यों है? तो और मैंने फिर मुझे असल में जिससे मुझे बहुत अचंभा हुआ, क्योंकि बापूजी स्वास्थ्य के बारे में इतना, स्वास्थ्य को इतना महत्व देते थे, वो कैसे इस तरह से मुझे कह रहे हैं? वो कोई भी पत्र लिखते थे या मुझे लिखते थे या लाला लाजपत राय को लिखते थे या पंडित नेहरू को लिखते थे या मौलाना आजाद, किसी को, सब में स्वास्थ्य की बात होती थी। और स्वास्थ्य की बात करते हुए वो कभी किसी से नहीं थकते थे, क्योंकि प्राकृतिक चिकित्सा थी। स्वास्थ्य को वो एकदम से बहुत ही महत्वपूर्ण विषय सोचते थे। और मैंने कहा मेरे बापूजी ने ऐसा मुझे क्यों कहा स्वास्थ्य के बारे में नहीं बोलो। आज मैं देख रही हूँ कि वह सब एक कल्चर, और मैंने भाषा सीखी कि हाउ डू डू, तो एक पोलाइट शब्द नमस्ते कह देगा, उसके बदले में स्वास्थ्य का ब्यौरा देना कोई आवश्यक नहीं है। लेकिन जो मुझे उसमें अभी मैंने जो सीखा है कि बापूजी कितने बड़े मनोवैज्ञानिक थे। उन्होंने अंग्रेजों को कैसे हराया, उनका मन समझ के, उनका मनोविज्ञान सोच के, और उसमें उनका ज्ञान था कि किसी तरह से चरखे का फिर से आरंभ हो या पुनरुत्थान हो, चरखा खादी फिर से पुनर्जीवित हो, और हमारा कपड़ा देश में बने, और न बाहर का कपड़ा लाए न अपना कपड़ा बाहर भेजे। इस पर उन्होंने देखिए किस तरह से मनोविज्ञान था उनका समझने का। हर किसी को समझते थे, चाहे विदेशी हो चाहे हिंदुस्तानी हो, वो हर एक बहुत बड़े मनोविज्ञान थे। बहुत आखिर में तो बापूजी को तो जब पहले देखा तो बहुत एक विनोद था, उसमें हास्य था, हमेशा हंसते थे, अभी सिखाना कभी नहीं बोलते थे। मुझे एक रोज कहने लगे तुमने आज कौन सी भाषा, कोई नया शब्द सीखा है क्या? रोज तुम्हें किसी भाषा का नया शब्द सीखना चाहिए। अब तुम तमिल सीखो क्योंकि तुम्हारी माँ तमिल भाषी है। मेरी माँ तमिल की, राजगोपालाचारी जी की बेटी, सबसे छोटी बेटी। तो बापूजी बहुत ही उस पर जोर देते थे कि तुम अपनी ननिहाल की भाषा सीखो। और वैसे तो खुद भी हमेशा उसका करते थे, अभ्यास करते थे, कहीं ना कहीं कुछ नया कुछ सीखने का उनमें रहता था। मुझे लगता है वो इसीलिए वो इतने हमेशा इतनी वो क्या कहूँ, कभी वो उनमें बुढ़ापा था ही नहीं। जो इंसान सीख सकता है हमेशा, वो कभी बुढ़ापा ले नहीं सकता, उसको बुढ़ापा कभी नहीं आ सकता। तो बापूजी की कई बातें कई तरह से मैं बापूजी को समझ रही हूँ, किताबों में नहीं, अपनी छोटी बड़ी अनुभव में। बापूजी के साथ तो बहुत स्मृतियां हैं, खादी ही अपने में बहुत विशाल विषय है, तो इसलिए समय और तो समय हमारे पास नहीं है।
बिल्कुल 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 मैडम, अभी हमारे पास बस लास्ट 2 क्वेश्चन हम रख रहे हैं। एक हमारे गुंजन सचदेवा जी, प्लीज।
Good evening, ma'am.
नमस्कार।
Ma'am, I have a question with regard to the farmers in our country. So, as you are aware about the condition,
Regarding what?
farmers in our country.
The kisan, yes, the farmer. Okay.
Hanji.
Okay.
So, ma'am, what do you think that how can we include the ideas of Gandhi ji in making the policy better for the farmers?
देखिए, यहाँ कहीं जरूर किसानों के साथ क्या करना चाहिए, क्या नहीं करना चाहिए। मैं तो सिर्फ इतना कहती हूँ, किसान हमारे अन्नदाता है। हमारे देश की ऐसी हालत है और ऐसा विरोधाभास है कि जहाँ सब कुछ है वहाँ अभी भी जो हमारे अन्नदाता है वो खाने के बिना रह जाते हैं। जो हमारे मकान बनाते हैं उनके सर पे छत नहीं है, जिनके पास जो हमारा जो कपड़ा बुनते हैं, काटते हैं, उनके पास कपड़ा नहीं है। तो जो हमारे देश में विरोधाभास है तो उसको तो ठीक करना होगा। उसमें बापूजी का एक ही बात आती है, वो ये है कि there is enough for everyone's need but not for anyone's greed। शायद कहीं यह अपनाने में हम लोग पीछे रह जाते हैं, इसीलिए इस देश की हालत है। लेकिन बहुत जगह सुधर रहा है, बहुत जगह अच्छा भी हो रहा है। मैं तो सिर्फ अन्नदाता को, जो मेरे कपड़े बुनते हैं उनको, जो हमारे मकान बनाते हैं उनको, जो हमारी दिन भर सेवा करते हैं, जैसे जो हमारे टैक्सी चलाते हैं, जो हमारे जो आजकल देखिए कोरोना की जैसे हालत में जो लोग आगे बढ़कर हमारी मदद कर रहे हैं, मैं तो उन सब की नागरिकता के बहुत आभारी।
Ma'am, or I do have one question, if I
Yes.
may. And then the problem in our society related to the caste issues is that it's increasing day by day. How can we
Yes.
bring out the Gandhi's principle in order to maintain the law and order in the society?
Well, how can we bring who am I to say how do we bring it? It is up to everyone. It is up to the citizens, up to the establishment, for the government, for everyone. I can't answer for everyone. I can only say what is my duty. And also, as I said, the right education for the children and the adults will give us soon the right future, where the human mind is without violence and environment is without pollution. And by violence, I mean all negativity. I mean also this sexual abuse, rapes, and the caste system, and all kinds of all this is violence and terror and murders and greed, everything, whether it is in politics or outside politics or anywhere. It is, I think, the right education of the children and the youth will bring us to a better future, to a future with sanity and beauty. Otherwise, I don't see any other way. Because if you are taught in the school and college the right things, if you are given the right education from the home, from the guardians, the right future will come. The future of Gandhi's dreams, the future of everyone's dreams. And we have to build a future for our children and their children and all the other future generations.
Right, ma'am. Ma'am, lastly, इस चीज को पूरा एक तरीके से कंक्लूड करने के लिए, वैसे तो मैं नहीं बोलूँगा कंक्लूड करना, बट कंक्लूड अपने में एक बहुत ही नेगेटिव वर्ड है। मैं बस ये चाहूँगा कि अगर आप हमारे व्यूअर्स के लिए, हमारे रिसर्चर्स के लिए, GCTC के लिए कुछ अगर एक चीज कुछ कहना चाहेंगे तो प्लीज।
देखिए, मेरी क्या इतनी औकात है कि मैं किसी को कुछ कह सकूं या कह सकूं। मैंने तो अपने विचार रखे। आप लोग सब मेरे से उम्र में बहुत छोटे हैं। उस हद पे मैं कह सकती हूँ कि हम किसी का शोषण न करें। As far as possible, let us not exploit the next life, especially the weaker one. I mean everyone. Let us try not to exploit the next life, whether it is human life or other life.
दोस्तों, आज 2 अक्टूबर गांधी जयंती के उपलक्ष्य पर हमारे बीच तारा गांधी जी थी और उन्होंने हमारे बीच कुछ सवाल जवाब दिए और बिल्कुल it was from the heart, so it was an honor for us, and thanks once again to all my viewers, to all the GCTC members and the researchers. Glad to have you all. Thank you, ma'am. Thank you so much once again.